Welcome in to another episode of the Bass Pro Shop's Fisherman's Handbook. Today we're going to focus on one of Mother Nature's fiercest elements, the wind. Wind dictates a wide variety of factors for an angler, from determining it's safe to be out on the lake, to which baits can be fished effectively, and even deciding what exact area of the lake to fish. There's a lot to consider when fishing in the wind. On today's show, we'll break this down in depth and show just how great the fishing can be when windy conditions set in.
You know, I think when I look back when I first started fishing, I kind of ran from the wind. And by that, I mean, I didn't want to fight the wind. I wanted to get out of the wind all the time. And certainly there are times when getting out of the wind is going to pay off and help you catch fish. But if you're in that situation and you get out of the wind and you're not catching any fish, not getting any bites, go to where the wind's blowing in on some points, blowing in or down some areas, and see if it doesn't help you get a few bites or generate some action for you. There's one.
Good. Not a bad fish.
Not a bad. All of them are good. I choked down on it pretty good. About the size of that other one. Gonna try to get him and get you a double out there on the same spot.
I was trying.
I would have too.
Pretty fat one too, isn't it?
Yeah, healthy. Yeah. I mean, he's right on the edge of that grass. I felt something, and thunk. He just crushed it.
A lot of times, Wade, wind, people don't like wind all that much, but it'll sure make fish bite better. We got on a windy shoreline, it may make a difference.
Yeah, I like the wind. I've always been a big fan of using the wind to my advantage, for anything. Fishing a point, fishing a flat, positioning your boat. You look at that, I mean, that's just almost a perfect picture.
Yeah.
Read the book, sit on the end of a point, little grass, don't.
The thing about fishing in the wind is you got to let the wind and use it to your advantage. What I mean by that is when you get in the wind, don't try to fight it. Try to go with it. If you're fishing flats or beds of grass or rocky shorelines, I'd say go with the wind. Use the wind to your advantage. Don't get out there and fight it.
I mean, when you see a bank like this, what's the first thing with the wind blowing in on it? I mean, what's the first thing you're gonna dissect, or how are you gonna dissect?
Well, the first thing I want to know is there grass? And so if there's grass, that tells me, and usually when I talk about grass, especially the time of year we're fishing right now, more or less pre-spawn or in the spring, over the top of the grass is what I'm looking for. Right. So we're going to use the wind and fish baits that we can fish fast over the top of it, make a pass down this. Yeah, it's not to say if we catch a bunch we won't come back down it, but we may just go down it and keep on going.
Got him?
No.
He's going on this side. He's going the other way. Fish seem so strong when the water temperature's 55, 58.
Oh, they pull.
They just tug this time of the year, don't they? Come here, buddy. That was awesome. Pattern just continues. Run that windy edge, and we're not getting flurries of bites in one spot like you can often find when you're crankbait fishing, but they're definitely biting when we get around them. Just got a hook there. That's just a good solid little largemouth bass on an old windy day. Why do you think people are scared of fishing windier spots like this, Clark? Just the boat positioning, the nerves, or?
I think it's boat control. I think boat control it's just hard to control your boat, but the key of fishing in the wind, the biggest piece of advice I could give anybody is don't fight it. Go with it. Go with it. You're not going to fish slow on a day like today very easily. So if you just can say, okay, well, there's a big grass bed here, I'm just going to float down it. Then it's easy. You're just floating down it. You can always run back and do it again. So, it's not like you have to sit there and go into the wind. I see people all the time fighting that wind, to me, blow with it.
Yeah, I don't want to fight it. I want it to work with me and not against me.
Time now for our first break. But when the Bass Pro Shops Fisherman's Handbook continues, Wade and Clark keep treating the wind as their friend. The fish are set up just right, and the bite is on. Stay tuned for more great fish catching action.
We know if you found one crappie, you may have found 1,000. We know the joy of getting your boots back in the mud. We know the journey can be more rewarding than the destination. We know the great outdoors. We love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Stop by today for huge savings on the gear you need and the brands you trust. Plus free 2-day shipping at BassPro.com and Cabela's.com.
Groundbreaking designs, unsurpassed quality, and unshakable confidence. Welcome to the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series. Leading the industry for over 50 years, these rigs are custom crafted and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver the ultimate ownership experience. The legendary Ranger Z series. Unleash next level performance.
Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish finder. And by Yamaha Marine, reliability starts here. Wind can often be seen as a deterrent. Whether it's difficulty with boat positioning or trouble casting, wind can create plenty of headaches for anglers. But combine wind with the right conditions and a little bit of patience, and the results can be extraordinary.
I just love fishing on days like this, though. I don't know, something about it.
Well, I'll tell you what I think it is, because I think there's something about it too. I love bad weather days the most because I feel like everybody else is probably staying inside. And I can come out here and have the whole place to myself.
I agree.
And they're usually biting.
Yes.
So that kind of makes it even better.
I agree. I mean, I want to be on the water on a day like this. I love it.
You got that steam kind of blowing, the fog coming through. I mean,
I feel like I could catch a 10-pounder at any cast on any lake.
Yeah.
It's just something about it. I feel like everything's alive. This is like a better one here. Same thing.
Oh, that is
a better one.
That is a
I
good
had to get us a picture of him. Golly.
I guess I'm gonna grab him for you.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one right there. I mean, you fight the wind when you're getting bites like that. How can you not fight the wind? Pretty good one there.
That's a real good one.
Thank you, sir. We'll get a
Fat.
picture of him. God.
Healthy.
On the paws.
Was it?
Yeah, on the paws. And I mean, he knocked 5 feet of slack in him when he hit it. Thank you, sir. Rusty, you mind getting us a picture? That's a good fish right there. It kind of sounds like a broken record when you keep talking about the wind, but I mean, a lot of people won't get out and fight this much wind and waves on a bank. And I think that's a mistake, don't you, Clark?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always something to try. You know, things aren't going that well for you on a lake, or, you know, they're not biting that good or whatever. Sometimes you go to a windy bank and you'll get more of those aggressive kind of bites.
Yeah, I agree. I like aggressive bites.
Aggressive bites.
I know you do. We've never been one to shy from that. You know, one thing that I have found in bass fishing, you'll notice it, we may end up with 10, 20 rods on our deck, but there's always seems to be one way that we gravitate towards to catch them a lot of times for a specific period. And that may change as the day goes on, but when you get it dialed in a little bit that the fish are biting on one specific bait at one specific depth with a similar retrieve, there's a period during that time when you're in some type of similar water, you can really catch a lot of fish.
Okay.
I think so. Yep. You called that one. You want to grab the trolling motor?
Okay.
I think we want to sit there for a second. That's fishing in the wind, though. You look at it, I mean, we're trying to both keep the boat right here where we might be able to catch another one. Wind's blowing in. The old wind is your friend statement right there. It's such a funny bite when you're out doing this, though. You're not sometimes not even sure you've got one.
Right.
He just kind of loaded up on it. I mean, I know you love to fish fast and fish aggressive and use the conditions to your advantage all the time. You really have your whole career, Clark.
Well, I've always liked moving, fishing fast, getting to the next fish, fishing more aggressive. And, you know, it's a different style, but a lot of times the easiest fish is that's the easiest fish to catch. The one that's the most aggressive is, you know, putting your bait in front of. And, you know, it's worked for me. I enjoy fishing that way.
Yeah, I love to wind and move, and it's almost like you're being aggressive and taking the fight to the
fish.
You're
right.
hunting. You know, it's you going against him. But I mean, I'm not against sitting out there deep and throwing at the same spot when I find a big school too.
Yeah, and I think really kind of what you got to look at is what's the best for the situation you have. Well, on a day like today, you got to fish the conditions. I mean,
right.
we can't just sit there right here. It's just too hard.
You can see the white cap.
Yeah, so we're going to use the wind to our advantage, and we're going to get some bites.
Yeah, well, I'll take bites all day long. Golly, that sucker jumped. He jumped like a smallmouth.
Boy, he did. He jumped
He
high.
jumped again. He jumped again. And again. This guy here just likes to jump.
Good fish.
Yeah. He's been caught before. Come here, buddy. Man. Boy, you have been caught before. I see hook marks about catch and release. He put on show there. He was a big smallmouth jumping there. That fish there, I mean, we're still out here in all this wind blowing around like crazy. And he bit it on the paws. Go back there.
That's cool.
I mean, it goes back to what we're saying. You're just taking advantage of the wind.
You just got to fish the conditions and let whatever the conditions tell you to fish. And so right now, you know, we may love to go up and flip reeds, but on a stretch like this, it's tough. You know, so we're getting out in the grass and just fishing it. And
fish what's in front of you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Coming up after this short break, we continue talking about fishing in the wind and having the right gear to set yourself up for success. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
At the pinnacle of super high output, 4-stroke outboard performance, you'll find Yamaha VMAX SHO. Yamaha's game-changing SHO technology. From exhilarating V6 models to the sleek inline 4s, there's a VMAX SHO for everything from bass to bonefish. It's an extended family of 4-strokes engineered for lightweight, inspiring performance, and rock-solid reliability. Discover VMAX SHO and elevate your expectations.
You sons of fishes. Ain't enough fish on this lake for 2 clubs.
Really? Well, we see plenty of fish live with Panoptics.
Yep. Dang, we should get Panoptics. Maybe we'll just take yours.
What's going on here? You boys have license?
Yes, sir.
Nope.
There he is.
Oh, I got it.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time. Big Bite Baits, designed to bring the big bite to your line. Sunline America, the strength to guarantee your confidence. And by Engel, the original high-performance cooler. Welcome back to the Fisherman's Handbook. On today's show, the conditions have set up just right to load the boat with bass on crankbaits and other moving baits. By fishing these reaction-style baits along wind-blown banks, it's not uncommon to get a variety of quality bites.
Yeah.
Get it around the edge of the deal there. Come here, buddy. I'm just gonna boat flip you in. You're a little bit too big to be boat flipping on a crankbait. God, look at that tank right there. That's what you want to have happen right there. He bit it right out there on the pause again, Clark.
Okay.
Right where that wind's coming in. Oh, that's so cool.
It's a good fish.
Yeah. All these fish that we've caught today have been good. I mean, you got some good ones early on. Missed the giant flipping. That's got us kind of spun out where we keep going in there, but you getting bites like that for both of us on a crankbait makes it pretty fun. Back there and do it again. Not catching a lot in one spot. That's kind of an intriguing deal.
Yeah, just covering water, and I'd really say the key, the whole thing is just fishing the conditions that you're dealt. You know? It's not a flipping day.
No.
It's bad weather, and
you would think they'd be chasing, you know, and so far what bites we've had, we've pretty much looked at that and dialed it in. You know, when you look at a bank like this, the wind's blowing in on it, you know, a lot of people would get kind of frustrated fishing it, but that can open up a lot of opportunities for different bait presentations.
yeah, I lick my chops on something like this, because what basically happens is you can't fish slow baits as good, that's for sure. But you got to just take the situation that whatever this, you know, whatever it gives you, and when wind's blowing in on stretch, you got the opportunity to throw moving baits, the kind of baits that you and I like to fish. There's a whole bunch of them: spinner bait, vibrating jig, swim bait, crank bait. I mean, you can do just about anything. And so, you know, we're going to come across this through this bank right here and use this wind to our advantage.
On top of having the right baits, line, and tackle to fish effectively in the wind, it's paramount to have the right gear and outerwear to withstand the elements as well.
You know, gearing up for fishing in any day, you know, if you look in the back of my boat, I'm always going to have a set of guide wear in there. I'm going to have a lightweight set and a lot of times a heavy duty set based on the conditions. And I may go in and out of them at different times of the day based on I might be running across the lake, fighting heavy wind and chop. Might be dealing with, you know, fronts coming in, rainy days. I just like to be prepared for that because that really makes a day of fishing a lot more enjoyable if you can be comfortable.
As far as my outer layer goes, I'm using Cabela's guide wear. The Cabela's guide wear right now is the perfect weight for me. If it's a warm day, I feel like it's as good as it can be. If it's a cold day, it's totally gonna keep the wind out. I'm not gonna get any any water coming down through your neck. That's always the place that you get wet the easiest, is coming down through your neck, coming down, and then your whole body gets wet. Guide wear has got the hood, and the way the hood's designed is perfect right now.
I love to find a set that got guide wear that's got a good collar, a good cuff on it so that it's really tight around my wrist. I don't want that slipping. I don't want water getting in there. I don't want a big bulging top up here to where water gets in on top, because it really tends to happen a lot of times when you're out fishing. And I just want it to be nice and durable for those conditions, because really when you're talking about buying a good set of outerwear that's going to last you for a while, you want something that's well built.
And next on the Bass Pro Shop's Fisherman's Handbook, we head to the bank. Wind can be your friend, but sometimes you need a break from the harsh conditions for just a little bit. When we return, Wade and Clark move into a protected area and find instant success.
Probably one of the #1 questions I get, what line do I use?
That's a big debate. On every tour out there, everybody's debating which line.
I choose the simple side. My choice of line is Sunline. One of my favorite lines to use is Sunline.
How all can you use it? Anywhere you want to. Anywhere there's water and bass, it's good. Walleye, catfish, trout, speckled trout, sharks.
There we go.
I don't say this unless I think it's true, but honestly, it's the best in the market.
This tube is the greatest thing in the world. When you're catching fish on it, it builds your confidence. To me, that's the most important part of bass fishing, is you have to have confidence in this bait when we're throwing it.
I've had guys say, you fish like you believe there's a fish there. Well, I do. I'm feeling everything that I can feel with that bait.
If you need to get bites, it'll just absolutely get bit.
I got my power pole down, stuck in the mud in the bottom of the lake, sitting so still in the wind and the waves, could even be a hurricane. I got my power pole down.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Sawyer Products. We keep you outdoors. Secret Lures. The secret is out. And by Spro, Sports Professionals. The focus on today's show has been fishing in the wind. However, after a long day of fighting the wind, an angler may need a break on the trolling motor. In the right scenario, pushing up shallow into a protected pocket can prove to be a wise decision.
Got him. Coming out of there.
Well, I finally got a bite flipping. I had that one right at the first of the day. It was a good one. Yeah. This one hit it, it was suspended, but there's no other bait you can fish in this right here. You can't, no. If you try to get on the outside, you're never gonna get a bite. You gotta get up in it. Not a great big one, but it was fun.
Well, we've been fighting the wind all morning long out there, and now we kind of eased into a little side of it, and you're like, I'm gonna flip.
Keep them honest.
You couldn't have done it on the other spot.
No, that's true.
You gotta fish what's in front of you.
And the conditions at hand, so that was fun.
The wind plays a huge role in how fish will position. Not only that, it also forces an angler's hand in regards to where and how they can fish a specific body of water. When the stars align, fishing in the wind is a very productive pattern, and most importantly, it's fun for an angler as well, to just chunk and wind.
A lot of those fish today, when they would bite, we're fishing shallow grass flats. Water temperature's about 57, 58 degrees. They haven't moved into the reeds. We kept thinking they're gonna move into the reeds. They're moving into the reeds because the reeds are where they're gonna spawn. What this lake has is reeds all the way around it and then grass out from the reeds. But those fish at 57, 56, 58 degrees, they're sitting out in that grass. Well, you can't just reel any bait. It's a little bit trial and error. The bait that worked the best for us was a crankbait. And a lot of times we would either jerk it free for some grass or we'd pause it, and that's when you'd get that bite. Something has to make that fish bite. It's a reaction bite, and that would do it.
There he is, got him.
That's a good one. Boy, he choked on it.
He choked on it too. Come here, buddy. Oh, got away.
Yep, that didn't count.
That's all right. I got the enjoyment of the bite. The thrill of the victory.
And he didn't land the fish.
I got the enjoyment.
I had one hit it right there. I hit a carp, something happened.
Oh, man, he crushed it. It's the same bite, though, we've been talking about on the wind all day. It's kabam!
You get the wind, and it seems like you get a chance at it.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Fisherman's Handbook. This has been a Carico TV production.
Approximately 30,000 cases of Lyme disease happen each year in the United States. The main culprit, ticks. Stop and kill ticks in the outdoors with Sawyer's permethrin insect repellents. Sawyer, we keep you outdoors.
When I look at the tournaments I've won, probably 4 or 5 of the boats that I've won have been on a tube. But I had completely gotten away from flipping a tube because nobody made one soft enough.
Big Bite has come with this new tour series of baits. The thing that's probably the most unique is when you look at that bait, the salt just rolls out of it. And to me, that is the reason a fish bites a tube and hangs on to it. This isn't one of those let's go out and catch some smallmouth tube. This is a let's get it done tube.
Many said that we were just obsessed when we started, that there had to be an easier way to smoke food. As time passed, the Bradley family created a lineup of Bradley electric smokers that has made it easier for the novice or even expert chef to get perfect results every time they use it. Grab yourself a Bradley smoker and take your cooking to an all-new level.
We demand a lot from the products that we use on our adventures around the world. When it comes to keeping things seriously cold, we rely on Angle Coolers, who have for over 50 years kept things cold. Angle Coolers, the original high-performance cooler.
Hobie's Mirage Drive kayaks set the standard for fun on the water. Whether your passion is fishing, sailing, or recreational adventure, Hobie's got a kayak for you. Hobie's Mirage Drive mimics nature's proven designs for efficient and powerful propulsion and enhances your kayaking experience. Mirage Power, Mirage Performance, Mirage Drive. Hobie, enjoy the ride.
Tired of forgetting to set a recording or missing the latest episode of your favorite outdoors show? Check out Outdoor Action today. Never miss a second of shows like Americana Outdoors, Cabela's Fisherman's Handbook, and Whitetail Diaries. All of this at the press of a button, without a subscription fee required. Start watching your favorite shows when you want to watch them by going to OutdoorAction.com or through the Outdoor Action channel on any Roku device.